Good day to you and welcome to another Paddocks Club video tutorial. As you may know, I spent the last 2 weeks in Australia and I want to use this video tutorial as an opportunity to share with you some of the highlights of that trip. The main purpose was to accompany a joint delegation from the Department of Human Settlements and the Community Scheme Ombuds Service on a study tour which was part of the process of their setting up the CSOS. The purpose being to expose themselves to a range of stakeholders in an industry similar to the community scheme environment in which they will operate in South Africa. The CSOS delegation was composed of the senior executive team as well as the members of the board, and the DHS team included the chief legal advisor and 2 other lawyers responsible for the design and implementation of framework legislation. Overall, these are the officials who will be managing the implementation of the CSOS and STSM Acts. On the first working day of the study tour, the delegates attended a presentation by Mr. Chris Irons, who is the Commissioner for Body, Corporate and Community Management. That's the entity which in 2005 we decided to use as a primary reference point for the design of the CSOS. So to have this organization explain what it does and how it manages its operation was most valuable. On the second day of the term, we took the delegation to Sanctuary Cove Resort, one of the most complex multi-level community scheme developments in Australia, and the management team unpacked for the delegates the complexities of the scheme and the issues that arise in its management. We then travelled to Brisbane and met with the executives of the Queensland branch of SCA, that's Strata Title Australia, which is the industry body for Australian managing agents along the same lines as NAMA in South Africa. The balance of the tour was spent attending a conference hosted by Griffith University on the Gold Coast in Queensland. The conference focused on strata title in the 21st century and has been presented by the Business and Tourism faculty of the university in alternate years since 2005, so it's old and well established. It was really interesting from a number of points of view, but perhaps most importantly, it was the first conference that I've been to that included a full range of community scheme stakeholders. Australian SCA conferences I've attended have comprehensively covered issues of interest to managing agents, but perhaps because the organising committee for this conference is made up of academics, lawyers, owners, managing agents, resident managers and industry regulators, as well as academics, of course, from all over the country. The speakers and topics included a wide spectrum of community scheme issues and stakeholders. The keynote speaker was Professor Evan Mackenzie, who's a sociologist from the University of Illinois, whose specialist topic is community schemes. He's published books on it, and his general approach seems to be that of somebody who treats community schemes with some suspicion, but listening to him speak, it became absolutely clear that he's not anti-community scheme development at all. We were treated to a number of presentations in regard to large and complex community schemes with examples from Germany and Dubai as well as Australia. Then it was South Africa's Chancellor, the chairman of the CSOS, Reverend Dr. Mahana, gave a talk outlining the challenges facing the South African industry and reporting on the progress of the CSOS and STSM Acts. The conference then went on to examine what various stakeholders considered to be the 5 key industry challenges for them in the future. On the second day, we focused on law reform and the expanding legal environment that applies to bodies, corporate and homeowners associations, and the focus then moved on to the prevention and cure of building defects and the funding of maintenance via sinking or reserve funds. The second day was rounded off by Mr. Chris Irons, dealing with disclosure of body corporate information and consumer education. On the final day, the conference looked at the issue of management rights. The balance of that day included talks on energy efficiency and sustainability, building to withstand weather-related natural disasters, and another excellent talk by Professor Mackenzie on group behaviour and politics in community schemes. Thank you for joining me in this Paddocks Club video tutorial, and if you have any questions about the conference, please ask them in the discussion forum.